Welcome to the Cure CERT1 podcast. We are Wes and Samantha Rogers, parents of a beautiful daughter with CERT1 or CERTRA syndrome. We're searching for other parents and families around the world who are facing this rare disease, hoping to unite our voices, our strength, and our hope to find a cure for our children. This is more than just our story. It's about building a global community that will make a real difference. Join this parent-led movement, and together, let's shape a brighter future for our children. Hey, you guys, and welcome to this episode of the Cure CERT1 podcast. It is long overdue, but it is a really good one to tune into. So I'm just going to start at the top with the most exciting news that you will ever receive all year, and that is that we have dates. Sorry, I'm clapping. We have dates for the Natural History Study. It will be June 10th through June 12th. I'm just starting with a bang, you guys. Write it down, put it in your calendars. I'm talking with an ink pen, a fountain pen, a permanent marker. Write it everywhere around you because it's very exciting. We are going to be able to participate in a research study on CERTRA syndrome for our natural history study. And it is amazing. It's going to be in Chicago, June 10th through June 12th. A number of you have already registered to participate, and we are so excited because these dates are going to be overlapping with several families, so we will get to meet one another. Our children will get to interact with one another. We're going to share a meal. We're going to share our stories. We are going to be there together, and I am so excited. For those of you who cannot make it in person, completely understandable. We also have the opportunity and option for you to participate virtually. And several of you internationally and here in the United States have already signed up to do that. So kudos to you guys. The more who register and are involved in this natural history study, the more information we have to get our children a cure and to start really digging deep to gather information on this syndrome. So we are so excited. So June 10th through June 12th. Yes, go write it down. So you may have noticed that I am alone on this podcast, and it's because Wesley, my husband, is at his place of employment. I am recording this during the day, really taking a big risk because my children are around and about. So you may hear them rustling in and out in the background. But this podcast is really wanting to highlight the importance of our natural history study. So way back in November, we had our online event that was so exciting. And we're just so grateful that we get to join up with the Rexon Foundation. We have so many more stakeholders. That was the Cure CERT1 Family Research Forum. Many of you were able to be in that call where we discussed who all we have partnered with so far in order to take steps toward a cure, what kind of mouse models we're working with, what other models we already have being built out for CERT1, and so on and so forth. Definitely something that you should reference back to, as it had a lot of answered questions as well as more questions that come up in future steps. So one of those big steps that we had Dr. Kreganfendt answer was the need for a natural history study. So why are we doing this natural history study? It really is about what CERT1 looks like. I popped online the other day and was just talking about Lottie jumping on her trampoline. It is her joy in life, and just looking at it and thinking like, there's a way we can kind of metaphorically talk about this. But when you look at somebody who's doing something, you're not going to say, all right, like, let's take it apart. You really have to observe. And that is exactly what a natural history study is. It's the observing of a disease process over time. And so it's telling you, what does CERT1 look like? I'm sure each and every one of you remember the day that your child was diagnosed. Each of you probably know that day and maybe even the time on the clock as you receive some really difficult information regarding your child. You may even remember the information that you were handed. For Wes and I, it was a single piece of paper with a few really scary words. On that was seizures, nonverbal, developmental delay. And it had some children listed as like a bio on what they were able to do. One child was able to ride a bike. One child was still learning to walk, but they were each the same age. So really this huge, varied measure and spectrum of ability and disability and not knowing. Well, the hope is that with a natural history study, we will know exactly when these children start having seizures, what the expectation of it for your child based on the grouping or the location of their mutation on this huge CERT1 gene, as we're coming to find. It's a big gene. And there still is a spectrum, but each of us have our little cohorts, as you may have remembered from our previous online discussions. And so we would really love to shed light on that for those who are newly diagnosed, to say, this is what you can expect for your child. We're talking lifespan, like the big questions that are really scary and very nebulous for us still, because those will answer questions for families and also give them the next steps. So that's what we want to do for them through a natural history study. Another reason is that we want to shed light on this. And this is a quote from Mike Graglia of the SYNGAP1 podcast. He said, "You can't say what better looks like if you don't know what baseline looks like." We need to know what baseline looks like. We need to know that clearly and with focused precision so that down the line, when therapies or FDA approved drugs or anything comes out that's being released for CERT1, we'll know what better looks like more clearly because we know what we're starting with at our baseline. Participating in the natural history study, online or in person, should be a priority for every family. The information that we're gathering forms a crucial foundation for data-driven discussions with the FDA, especially when we identify therapies that could benefit our children. It's not just for research, and it's not just for fun, and it's not just a study. It is the thing that we have as a definitive answer and definitive information that we're gathering to provide research information for our future. So we really want you to prioritize this. We really hope that if you're needing some extra cash flow, some extra help to get there, please reach out to us. Please reach out to Kelly. We would love to get you there as we are able to. We really would love to, not just selfishly. Gosh, I want to hug and meet each and every one of you and each and every one of your children. So please make it a priority to be there at this natural history study, either in person or online, and that way we can best provide information. All right, the next thing I want to say is, yeah, I really would love to hug your child and hug you guys. And if you have not connected with Wes and I on FaceTime or over the phone, any way that you'd like to, we would love to connect with you. So please just reach out to us either at samantha@lottieslight.org, hello@lottieslight.org, admin@lottieslight.org. I answer all those emails and I would love to talk to you and set up a time that is convenient. We can answer questions. We can just be in each other's corner for things that are to come or things that will be, and just get to know you and see the crossover in our beautiful children. A volunteer spotlight that I would love to shed some light on and say thank you is Teresa Cuneo. She and her husband reached out when their son was diagnosed back in 2024. His name is Willie T. I'm sure you've seen him. He's the cutest on Instagram and Facebook. You may know him from there. He was diagnosed when he was just a wee little boy. And with the updated pictures, it's crazy to see these updated pictures. These little babies are they're growing and learning so much, inch by inch. It's incredible. Teresa has been a huge help to me in getting some thoughts and ideas rolling for our social media pages. And I'm really grateful for her for taking the time to brainstorm and then just thoughtfully communicate those awesome ideas as we approach the holidays and leading into this year. Teresa is kind, she's very knowledgeable, and she's really easy to talk to. And she embodies mothering a rare disease child in her gentleness. And I'm really thankful to be in this with you, Teresa. So thank you so much. As you may have seen, there were a lot of stories that were shared well into March and beyond the love month of February. I did get a little bit of a late start on that, but each and every one of you who shared your stories, I just, again, cannot thank you enough. And so many in my community have told me, and so many of you, how much you love seeing these stories. And it really sheds light on our disease. It shows the humanity, the things that we're dealing with in a way, the things that we're carrying, the heavy parts, but it also shows this beauty and tremendous love that we have for our children. And so thank you so much for being vulnerable enough to share your story with the world, for sharing these beautiful smiles of these children. It really means so much to me. That was a huge part of our story. It still is a huge part of our story when Charlotte got really sick, that we were just looking, there's got to be more kids like her who have gone through this or who may have answers as to what's really going on at a baseline. We had our CERT1 diagnosis, but we didn't have any stories or any faces to really go with who she was. And we were able to find this Facebook group and seeing children who looked like Charlotte, who sounded like Charlotte, who acted like her for the first time. I could still cry about it. So I love seeing these kids. It means so much to me, and it brings me so much hope and joy for who she's going to be and what she'll be able to attain. So if you haven't shared your story, please go to lottieslight.org and click the share your story button. I never want to stop saying, look at our kids, look how awesome they are, look how far they've come, look how much they're loved. So I might just not be doing that in February. That might be just a year-round thing of getting to know these children with their love and their light. So thank you so much for sharing. And please, if you haven't shared your story yet at all for the first time, hop on over there. And if you would love to give us an update, please do that as well. I would absolutely love that. If you are a CERT1 family and this is the first time you've heard about a natural history study, or you were not able to join in November, please reach out and let me know. Wes put together a 1-page summary and the recording so that you can go back and you can watch the entire event. CERT1 dad, David, gives an encouraging update on progress made in 2025 in the first half of the meeting, and it was a ton of really good stuff. Then in the second half of the call, Dr. Kelly, lead researcher for the CERT1 Natural History Study, goes over the who, where, how, why of the natural history study. It was very informative. So shoot us an email and we can give you access to those files if you have not or were not able to be a part of that in November. So this is just a short little podcast, but we really appreciate you listening in. Please, if you have not yet reached out to Kelly, I will put her email and her phone number that was listed on the natural history study information that was put out. But I would love for you to reach out to her. Again, if there's any questions that Wes and I can answer, please reach out to us. Those of you who have our phone numbers, feel free to text us. And those of you who want our phone numbers, shoot us an email. And I hope you guys are all doing so well. Talk to you soon. We hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If you have topics you would like us to cover, or people you think we should invite, or if you would like to join the conversation and share your story, please send us a note at hello@lottieslight.org. And remember, together we will illuminate a cure.